Prime Minister Gaston Browne maintains his stance on the sale of Scotiabank, and in sport, the West Indies level the ODI series after a brilliant knock from Shai Hope. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, December 11. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Volkswagen ran their car for the first time in Colorado a few weeks before the event.
My hope in Sunday for sure is to get the electric record. We are here for that. I want to have a perfect run without any issue, to go to the top and to get the record.
Like Indianapolis or Daytona, Pikes Peak is up there as one of the great amphitheaters of American motorsport.
Before we get into the case that we're going to discuss today, I want to give a little background from you, Tom, about what led up to this. In 1994, there was a spill, a chemical spill, right here in Lake Charles. What happened?
Well, what happened was there was a chemical spill of EDC, ethylene dichloride, that occurred at the Conoco dock facility. It turns out that we learned that that thing had been spilling, this pipeline had been spilling and leaking for about 8 months.
Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Browne is warning that his government will not be responsible for any run on Scotiabank. Speaking to ABS News after a ceremony in the memory of the island's first Prime Minister, V.C. Bird, yesterday, Browne reiterated that his administration will not provide a vesting order to facilitate the sale of Scotiabank to the Trinidad-based Republic Financial Holdings Limited.
Clear to the governor of the central bank and to the members of the Monetary Council that we have the right to issue the vesting order. And I've already indicated to Scotia and to Republic Bank that we will not be giving the vesting order unless we get a deal that is satisfactory to us. In that case, they'll have to go to court, but we'll not voluntarily do it. And we're doing so to ensure that we can get a piece of this pie to build resilience within the indigenous banking sector to make our banks stronger.
Scotiabank announced plans last month to sell its banks in 9 Caribbean countries. Guyana, one of those countries, has also expressed reservations about the proposed sale. The Guyana government has confirmed the dismissal of the Commissioner of Information after acknowledging that no funds had been allocated in the 2019 budget for his office. Commissioner of Information, retired Justice Charles Ramson, was appointed to the post under the previous government in 2013, and the appointment was seen then as part of the country's adherence to access the information legislation. But Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu told lawmakers that no funds were set aside for the Commissioner of Information in the budget, as the Commissioner was dismissed for rendering his office dysfunctional. Opposition Member of Parliament Juan Edgehill questioned the move during the first day of the consideration of budget estimates, but Nagamutu said the holder of the post had not provided any account of what he had done. Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell wants his CARICOM colleagues to make sincere efforts to encourage easier intra-regional travel and abolish the heavy taxes that discourage free movement of the region's population. His request comes less than a week after regional leaders met in Trinidad and Tobago to examine ways of improving the CARICOM single market and economy that allows for the free movement of goods, skills, labor, and skills across the majority of the 15-member grouping. Now, they have since agreed on a timetable to ensure that certain measures are put in place to facilitate the deepening of the regional integration movement through the CSME. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. back, it's now time for sport. A well-played ton by Barbadian Shea Hope fizzled any hope of Bangladesh taking the ODI series yesterday or today as the West Indies beat the home side by 4 wickets in the second match in Dhaka. Now batting first, the hosts posted a competitive 255 for 7 from their 50 overs. Half-centuries came from Shakib Al Hassan, Mushfiqur Rahim and Tamim Iqbal, while Mahmudullah chipped in with 30. Jamaican right-arm fast bowler O'Shane Thomas picked up 3 wickets for 54 runs, now needing 256 to win. Hope smashed an unbeaten 146 to get the Windies over the line with just 2 balls to spare. The veteran Marlon Samuels added 27, while Darren Bravo chipped in with 26. The win for the Caribbean side now levels the series at 1 apiece. And England have named an unchanged squad for their 3-test series against West Indies starting next month, with Barbadian fast bowler sensation Jofra Archer still sweating on qualification. National selector Ed Smith said the 23-year-old was not considered for selection, with the player's county success saying he was likely to qualify at some point in March 2019. The Joe Root skippered side retains the likes of recent debutants Ben Fowkes and opener Rory Burns, with veteran seamers James Anderson and Stuart Broad also included. England's record in the Caribbean is a poor one, having won just 1 series in the last 50 years in 2004 when Michael Vaughan's side dominated a 4-match series 3-0. Now, on their last tour of the Caribbean 3 years ago, they were held to a 1-1 draw after the West Indies won the final test inside 3 days at Kensington Oval. In the ODI side, meanwhile, Sam Curran, Liam Dawson and Ollie Stone were all left out, while left-arm seamer David Willey has returned following injury. As expected, Ian Morgan will lead the squad. England's tour of the Caribbean runs from January 23rd to March 10th and comprises 3 tests, 5 one-day internationals and 3 T20 internationals. And in the Cayman Islands, the countdown begins for next year's Special Olympics in Abu Dhabi. A total of 19 athletes will represent the country at the March 14th to 21st affair. Cayman 27's Jordan Arbanese reports.
Everyone was in a festive mood Saturday as athletes, supporters, and coaches of Special Olympics Cayman Islands gathered to announce the 8th delegation for the 15th Special Olympics World Summer Games. And as 19 athletes' names were read, Soki Chair Adrian Lynch says Team Cayman, much like the 7,000 athletes expected in Abu Dhabi, will compete under a unified message.
One of the team is all about participation and proudly representing the Cayman Islands, where you're from, your roots, bringing your colours of Cayman and participating in the World Games like everybody else around the world who sends their delegation to the World Games.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.